Hello old school NBA fans, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to take a look at another all-time classic. We will feature the 1996 NBA Rising Stars game. Back in the days when the NBA was competitive. Rising NBA stars battling from bragging rights. Let's take a quick look at the rosters. So let's sit back and enjoy this classic. At the end of the video, we got more information for you.
Kurt Thomas. This rookie big man has terrific rebounding and shot blocking skills from the Washington Bullets, Rasheed Wallace. After an All-America career in North Carolina, this number 3 pick in the 1995 draft leads all NBA rookies in scoring from the Philadelphia 76ers, Jerry Stackhouse. This rookie point guard leads his team in scoring and assists from the Toronto Raptors, Damon Stoudemire. And now the West team. The head coach of the Western Conference team, the 1988 Coach of the Year. He had over 600 wins in 15 seasons, guiding the San Antonio Spurs, Denver Nuggets, and the Philadelphia 76ers, Doug Moe. The trainer for the West team, John Anderson of the San Antonio Spurs. Now the players for the West team. He keyed UCLA's championship season last year and has stepped up to a starting role in the NBA this year. From the Sacramento Kings, Tyus Edney. The all-time leading scorer at Wisconsin, this rookie is best known for his exceptional leaping ability. From the Phoenix Suns, Michael Finley. This rookie Timberwolf has been making tracks in the NBA, showing an ability to score, rebound, and pass. From the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. Pick in the 1995 draft, he's one of the best rookie scorers, rebounders, and shot blockers. From the Denver Nuggets, Antonio McDyess. He's leading this year's rookie class in three-point shooting and ranks among the top 10 in assists, steals, and minutes played. From the Los Angeles Clippers, Brent Barry. Since moving into the starting lineup in December, the man they call Big Country has been the team's leading rebounder from the Vancouver Grizzlies, Brian Reeves. A veteran of 2 medal-winning Olympic teams, he's blazing new trails in the U.S. From the Portland Trail Blazers, Arvydas Sabonis. The number 1 pick in the 1995 draft, he leads his team in block shots and is second in scoring and rebounding. From the Golden State Warriors, Joe Smith. The players in the 1996 Shaq rookie game.
All right, let's take a look, Hubie Brown, at the starting lineups in tonight's game. The matchups are interesting right off the top.
Yeah, I really like the center position. For the people out there, remember Rasheed Wallace at the center position, and then you have Sabonis on the opposite side at 7'3", 290.
Big team versus quick team. Be interesting to see what happens. Let's have a look at the rules. They are different in this game, of course, regular. First of all, 2 15-minute halves, 1 mandatory timeout each under the 8-minute mark, 90 seconds. Personal fouls are counted, but nobody fouls out, so we can see all these players. 10-minute halftime. In the event of a tie, there will be a jump ball at center court with the first team to score 3 points the winner. We saw that last year. Sudden death. Sudden victory, you might say. The coaches. Here is Big Bob Lanier, who is coaching the East. And you could see that Bob Lanier was in charge of these young players at practice yesterday.
Yeah, he was having a lot of fun. 8-time All-Star.
Bob Lanier is coaching the East and coaching the West. 600 wins, 15 years. You just heard the PA announcer talking about Doug Moe. I think the most significant thing, though, you can't see it in this picture. Yeah, you can. Look at the fashion statement made by Doug Moe. I thought it was Chuck Daly. Just most. Could that be Doug Moe?
Well, Doug had a great career as a player and in the All-ABA, as well as over in the European League in Italy. And then as a coach, let's face it, his one-loss record proves that.
There are the three officials, Ron Oleziak, Mike Callahan, and Sean Corbin, and this game is underway. The West in the white away uniforms. That's how you'll be able to tell the difference. There's Michael Finley, hard to the hoop. Michael Finley, who stepped in to the starting lineup for the Phoenix Suns after their rash of injuries out of Wisconsin. Great junior year, less spectacular senior, but nevertheless a tremendous find, one of the best rookies in the NBA. This is Alan Henderson for the Atlanta Hawks missing. Henderson out of Indiana, of course. Eric Williams to Stackhouse. From North Carolina, the three-pointer from Jerry Stackhouse.
Well, Stackhouse attempts 4 a game, and he's shooting right at 35%.
Michael Finley starting at guard here. Of course, Finley plays the quick forward spot for the Phoenix Suns. This is little Tyus Edney.
Oh, beautiful.
Tip in, Arvidas Sabonis.
Sabonis takes up so much space, Bob. When you say 7'3", 290, and he has great basketball sense.
Sabonis with that rebound. See how big he is, and oh, do we remember the last of the great Soviet Union combined teams with Sabonis and some other great players who ended up playing in the NBA. This is Joe Smith, the #1 draft choice, and you see why.
Oh, in the last couple of weeks, Joe Smith is putting up numbers of over 20 points and over 15 rebounds. He's really starting to come into his own.
3 sophomores out of college have been the #1 pick. As Stoudemire has it blocked by Smith. Magic Johnson in 79, Chris Webber in 93, and Joe Smith, sophomore, #1 pick in the draft. Just think about it. Take a look at the block.
Joe Smith will come right from the left side of your screen here. You're right there. Stoudemire thought he was home and safe with the left-handed hook.
Eric Williams has the ball underneath, but he can't get it past Sabonis. Knocked out of bounds. And the ball is going to belong to the East. I'll remind you once again, as you look at Doug Moe, that the East in the color uniforms of their home teams and the West wearing the visiting or white uniforms. That's how you can tell them apart here tonight. This is Damon Stoudemire and Ty Edney, 2 mighty mites. An Ironman, too, playing a lot of minutes, his rookies. Stoudemire.
Well, Stoudemire naturally is getting the minutes. He has the second most minutes played in the NBA at 41 a game, only second to Anthony Mason, who's averaging 43.
Joe Smith posting up on Eric Williams. Eric from Providence playing at Boston now. Kept alive and knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to the West.
See, Sabonis got a piece of that right up over the top of Rasheed Wallace. He is so big. He has extra long arms, and he has a great command at positioning himself inside the lane.
Antonio McDyess from Alabama, long range, doesn't get it. Finley follows. He can't either. Here is Stackhouse. Stackhouse helped warm Michael Jordan up when Michael was on his return. Eric Williams doesn't get the fall, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Eric Williams is out of Providence. He has a great first step, and he is bent on getting to the rim. He gets to the foul line 5 times a game, which is a lot when you consider that he's not a starter. He is a finisher, and he takes it right to the hole. You could see he's not afraid of size.
How about this Providence team? Vicky Simpkins, Michael Smith, Eric Williams.
They had a great amount of talent on the front line, and they did an excellent job in positioning himself in the Big East.
Tyus Edney missing from long range. You saw McDyess and his athletic ability. Sabonis' hook shot doesn't go down. Rasheed Wallace battles for it out of bounds. It will belong to the East, and the Big O, the 1961 Rookie of the Year, Oscar Robertson. There's still a debate on, was he the greatest ever? Stackhouse with the lob. It goes in. Not as spectacular as they wanted, the delivery from Damon Stoudemire.
The main thing is that we did not have a collision. Okay.
Sabonis.
Oh, he'll make those. Oh, come on. Oh, you've got to get out on him. The one thing you know is he attempts at least 3 a game, and he shoots at a 36%. So you got to get out and play him.
McDyess with the rebound. What a man he is. He was drafted by the L.A. Clippers, then went in the trade that brought Brent Barry to the Clippers, and he went to the Denver Nuggets. Here's Sabonis. And the foul. Here's the lob from Stoudemire to Jerry Stackhouse.
You got to say he catches this, Bob, in traffic, and he makes a nice finish. But the man on the foul line right now, it's just outstanding. He only plays 23 minutes a game. He scores 13 points, 7 rebounds, shoots 55%, and 36 in threes. And when you think about it, 7'3", 290, not bad. He fills all the columns.
How about this here? In about 3.5 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds for Sabonis in this game. You talk about a man among boys. He's 31. Again, remember that Kevin Garnett, who's coming into the game right now, is only 19 years old, 9 months. Also, Big Country Reed is going to enter the game. Brent Barry, one of the Barry boys, some great talent in the Barry family that most basketball fans are very well aware of, and a young fellow who played his college ball at Texas Christian and is a senior, led in scoring and rebounding in the NCAA Division I. Kurt Thomas with Miami Heat now checks into the ball game. Barry knocking it out of bounds.
What I like about in the early part, Bob, is players have been unselfish. Guys are actually setting screens for one another. They're looking for people who are open, and that's what you like to see, and very few turnovers.
And the West is now down by a point, 12-11. Eric Williams with the lay-in. Here's Big Country Reeves. And Brent Barry's in the slam dunk competition. Punched away by Rasheed Wallace. This is right out of high school, Kevin Garnett with the turnover. Stoudemire to Eric Williams. Held from behind. Garnett said, I may be out of high school, but I wasn't born yesterday.
Well, it's a 2-shot foul. And there's the cardinal rule in basketball. Never leave your feet unless you're going to shoot the basketball. Because then if they take away the shot, you can always make the pass. But when you elevate with the idea to pass first and they cut off the passing lanes, it's a turnover.
2 shots.
You just saw a picture of Bob Surratt of Florida State, who's played mainly a 2-guard, is being trained as a possible point guard in Cleveland. And Artis Gilmore and Hugh B. Brown, Kentucky Colonels. What a great basketball team you had.
Well, the year we won the championship in '75, Artis was MVP. And once the leagues merged, he ended his career in Chicago. And his records in Chicago, San Antonio, are just staggering when you think he was an Iron Man.
A-train, Brent Barry. Look at that move by the youngster. There's a debate among John, Scooter, Drew, and Brent as to who's the most talented. I asked Brent, he says, clearly me. Of course, Drew.
I'll tell you, he's having an excellent year since they moved him to the shooting guard.
Absolutely. Here's Kevin Garnett missing from close in. Rasheed Wallace has it knocked loose. This is Brent Barry. Back to the hole. Line pass. Michael Finley. Inside Garnett. Brent Barry.
The Barry boys are all like their father. They all see the floor, and they can make the pass.
Eric Williams, he is not afraid, you pointed it out a minute ago, to take it to the hoop. You call him a slasher. There's no other word to describe him well.
Well, the thing I like about him is that he's a finisher. He's an awful lot like Finley at the other end. If he doesn't score, he usually gets fouled.
Bob Surratt, Florida State. He played with Charlie Ward, Sam Cassell, and Doug Edwards. Brent Barry comes up with a loop.
Oh, great. Oh, almost. That was an almost.
And the follow by Brian Reeves. They say that his crew cut, Brian Reeves, is the rage in Vancouver. Now that he's starting to really play well. Here's Kurt Thomas. Reeves with the defensive rebound. Out to Finley. Lead pass Barry.
You can see the talent. He can see the floor. He's 6'6". He averaged 21 a game at Oregon State. And the big thing is they tried to make him a point guard early. So he's had early exposure with the minutes at the point guard position with the Clippers. But in the last 2 weeks, they're playing him at the 2, and he is scoring, and he is shooting 48%, 44 in threes.
There you go. Oscar Robertson almost averaged a triple-double in claiming Rookie of the Year honors. In 1965, Willis Reed began his Hall of Fame career with a 20-point, 15-rebound Rookie of the Year campaign. And with his underhand free throws and his deft scoring touch, Rick Barry was the NBA's top rook 30 years ago.
And as you saw Rick Barry, the Barry boys, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whether you're Rick or not, look a lot like Rick. And that's Brent. He's the tallest, by the way, at 6'6". The LA Clippers. Here's Sura on the drive. Thomas trouble handling. 7 on the shot clock. Shot clock hasn't really been a factor in this. Trying to get the ball up to the hoop in between McDyess and Reeves, and that foul will be on Reeves. Look at these rebounds. You talked about the big team, small team. West 10 rebounds, East 3.
You made a point about Kurt Thomas a little earlier, Bob, and that was the fact that he led the nation in scoring at 29 points a game and also in rebounding, and it's only been done 3 times. And Hank Gathers did it, and so did Xavier McDaniel. He had 29 points and 15 rebounds in his senior season.
Picked up in the draft 10th. Of course, Miami now 6'9", 230 pounds. Here's Tyus Edney. Lob inside. Garnett missed the behind the back jam. You see the athletic talent on that youngster. Remember, Kevin Garnett. Look at Doug Moe. Kevin Garnett, 19 years,
Kevin,
9
don't
months
worry
old.
about it.
Well, you're going to see him come right out of your picture here right now. You're talking about a great leaper. He's 6'11" with incredible strength.
Kurt Thomas with a foul on Antonio McDyess. Our buddy Doug Collins, who's probably watching right now as he rests up on this all-star break with the Detroit Pistons, really liked McDyess in the draft. Of course, everybody else did, too. Look where he went.
Well, you know, McDyess was picked second by the Clippers. They traded him to Denver. And then the Clippers picked up Rodney Rogers at 6'9", and then Williams at 6'10", who has played terrific for them at the center position. And then the bonus in it all was Barry, because they were hoping that Barry could play the point or the 2 position, and everything has worked out. They've got 3 guys who are contributing. Denver is very happy with the deal because McDyess is going to be one of the true stars in this league for many years.
Pick and roll as George Zedek just got into the game from Charlotte. He's out of UCLA, Czechoslovakia, or Slovakia as it's known now. There's the hook. That is so reminiscent of his dad.
Now wait, we've seen 2 hooks in this game. One by Sabonis and one by Zedek.
What do they have in common?
Right.
Sura comes away with a loose ball.
Give it up.
Barrett's back. And the foul committed on Damon Stoudemire, who also knocks it in.
Sura almost waited a little too long that time. You like to give it up early, force the defense to commit, and then if he doesn't have the shot, then he would get it back for himself for a layup. Now, Stoudemire right now is just having a sensational season. We told you earlier he's second in the league in minutes played at 41 per game. But he's also 4th in the league in assists at 9.1 a game.
Brent Barry to Tyus Edney.
Tyus Edney is like a blur when he gets that chance to cross over.
Barry short arms the 3-point attempt. Dice with the defensive play off the back of his head. Go ahead. The score, by the way, 21-19. West up by 2. 8:32 to go. 2 15-minute halves here. This is the rookie All-Star game on 1995 All-Star Saturday night. Yet to come. For this evening, the $1 million shot with Demetrius Houston, who's warming up right near here, and a nervous 17-year-old man, followed by the AT&T long-distance shootout, and then the slam dunk competition. Rasheed Wallace inside.
Now that was a beautiful pass, and Wallace positioned himself almost behind the backboard. Fortunately, he was able to make that because he's an outstanding athlete.
The West went on an 8-0 run. Now the East has done likewise. We're tied at 21. Joe Smith drops the 3.
Well, Joe Smith during the year has only attempted 10 of these, all right? He was 4 for 10 in the first half of the year.
Did you say blur? So is Stoudemire. Rasheed Wallace comes away with it. Zedek gets away with the push and puts back the offensive board. Zedek has 6 points in about, what, a minute and a half of play? He started a few games for the Charlotte Hornets, of course, who lost Morning in the trade for Ken Rice. Sura. Big rebound from Zedek again. He's going to take it. He's feeling it here tonight. 8 points for George. Call me Yuri Zedek.
Well, he is definitely not bashful. And the thing that you like about him is he really has a nice understanding of the game.
Bentley to Tyus Edney. Not even close. Sura on the run. Has Kurt Thomas way out in front, but finds Stoudemire on the wing. 7:12 to go, first half.
Nice. Wallace. Kevin Garnett fell asleep. A nice cut by Wallace. Most important, unselfish delivery by Stoudemire.
Entertaining ball game so far. Rookie All-Stars, 1996. Here is Joe Smith missing the triple. Bob Sura on the run. Spin move. Pass is picked off by McDyess. Edney. Finley. And a warm you up for the slam dunk competition.
Well,
Finley's in it, and he's my pick.
I like Finley from end line to end line. There are very few guys in the NBA quicker than he, and also he finishes. There are a lot of guys who run the break at all levels of basketball, but they have difficulty scoring.
This is pretty. Let's take a look at the Finley dunk on the lob here.
Well, he's been a godsend for Phoenix. He's averaging 15 points a game, and he's a terrific defender, and they love his work habits.
Edney, second round, had a lot of injuries in the Final Four with UCLA, and in the pre-draft, which dropped him down some. He was the 47th pick in the second round. Kurt Thomas, his second personal. But remember, nobody can foul out of this game because we certainly want to give you an opportunity to see all these youngsters. It's interesting to watch these talented million-dollar rookies, million plus in everybody's case, playing against each other. Smith controls the ball, bounce pass inside. There's Edney.
What I like this evening so far is any cutter who's cut through the lane and open, the players have been delivering the pass, and you love to see that in all-star games.
Stoudemire driving past Edney. Look at the follow by Alan Henderson for the Atlanta Hawks. He's had a lot of playing time, up and down, like so many, but he was Indiana's leading shot blocker.
Oh, yes.
McDyess.
Doug Moe made a statement last night at the rookie practice. He thinks
Henderson, wow.
He thinks McDyess is one of the greatest dunkers that he's ever seen. Now, that's a tough statement by Doug Moe, okay?
At practice, he was trying to get these guys, all his rookies, to dunk after they practiced a little bit from the screen and cut. That's Tyus Edney, and the only one who would volunteer to dunk was Tyus Edney. 11 lead changes in this game. Sura was bumped, and the ball is off target. West leading 32-31. 5:08 to go in the first half of the rookie All-Star game. Everybody getting a chance for a lot of minutes.
Well, with the 15-minute halves, you like what the coaches are doing. They're getting everyone in, and you're out there for about 4 or 5 minutes. Then they come with other players. The two guys stay out on the floor, and that's nice because then they know that if they go to the bench, that they're not going to be there for the rest of the half.
Joe Smith working against Rasheed Wallace. Up and under Joe Smith. Wallace got a piece of it.
Well, they had many a war in the ACC, Maryland and Carolina.
Absolutely. Barry takes the charge. We're going to talk to Brent Barry taking a charge in a rookie All-Star game.
That's right.
Even more interesting is the official called it. Craig Sager, speaking of legends.
A couple of legends from Philadelphia. Will Smith talking to Julius Erving over here on the sidelines. We're going to talk to Will a bit later when he's talking to Jerry Stackhouse. Sorry to interrupt. How you guys doing? Dr. J, sorry to interrupt. What's one of the keys to being consistent? We see these rookies with flashes of brilliance, but how do you maintain consistency over a career?
You got to get the playing time. You know, I think the coach has to give you enough time on the court so that, you know, your errors could be balanced out by your good plays. You just see a guy make 2 or 3 turnovers and then he gets the hook. Law of averages works against him. So you got to get the playing time, I think.
We're going to talk to Will a bit later about Jerry Stackhouse and the slam dunk. What are you going to be looking for?
I'm judging.
What are you going to be looking for?
I'm judging creativity, athleticism, and I guess originality.
It could be a big weekend for Philly. Let's go back to Bob.
How about that Michael Finley three-pointer? And now the penetration. We have a 35-33 West lead with 3:55 to go in the first half. And entertainment. Yes. Brent Berry from Tyus Edney. Brent's in the slam dunk competition, and they're already giving him a 10.
That was a 35-foot pass on the money.
I want to take your eyes off this game. We've seen some entertaining basketball in the third annual rookie game. What a great idea it was to get these youngsters out here. Here's Rasheed Wallace. Oh, yes, that's on 2. He stepped on the line.
But, you know, Rasheed Wallace has attempted 52 threes this season.
Look at the pass from Edney to Finley to Joe Smith. They practiced together, these two teams, 45 minutes yesterday. They didn't really get in that 30 minutes maybe of just a little bit of getting to know each other. Here it is, Brent Berry.
Yeah, we're going to show you the long pass. Now, just watch. He's right over half court. That is a long toss. A beautiful catch by Barry, sending it down over his head. Now, right now in this game, Finley and Edney both have 5 assists.
There's Joe Smith, number 1 draft choice. Joe Smith, Stackhouse, Finley, Stoudemire. Rookie of the year is going to be tough. Antonio McDyess, Barry still in the running for that?
Well, a major point by Dr. J. You need the minutes, because in the minutes you get a chance to get shots or whatever your specialty is, rebounding, shot play. You need the minutes. That's why we brought out at the top, all 8 guys in the West average over 21 minutes. Only 4 players on the East get that amount of time.
Kevin Garnett. Brent Berry. That's from about 28 feet. Won't go. McDyess kept it alive for Garnett. Behind the back to McDyess. They're tough inside.
Well, Kevin Garnett is an outstanding passer for a player at 6'11".
Stoudemire drains the 3. Damon Stoudemire.
Well, Damon has had a sensational year with Toronto. They talk about his minutes, but he takes 4 threes a game, shoots a very high 38%.
Stoudemire with 10 points. Henderson had looked there to play the defense. It's Finley who takes it away. Finley the other night in the game we had on Turner Sports, the Chicago-Phoenix game. Finley fouled out of the game, but I thought did a good one-on-one job trying to stop Michael Jordan. Did you not?
Yeah, well, you know, the main thing is you're not going to stop Michael, because Michael's going to get the shot attempts. But I thought that he was right up in there, and he contested him. It was a home game. And then he also balanced it off by being able to score and get out in the open court and make things happen for his own team.
You were talking to me about Michael Finley from his international play. When I guess he was, what, a sophomore?
No, he was going into his senior year. The team that was over in St. Petersburg in the Goodwill games, Michael Finley was just absolutely outstanding, because he showed to you the quickness, the ability to shoot the 3, the finish. He gets to the foul line because he gets fouled due to quickness. And then the major key, he could defend even then. And that's what Phoenix is loving about his game, his defensive ability.
Let's listen in to Doug Moe and his huddle over there with the...
That's who we got?
West.
Who did I just put in the game? No, I took... You're in for... Yeah. All right, let's get a lob for Antonio. How do you want to get it, or what kind of lob you want to make it here? Which side do you want to get it from? Doesn't matter. What side do you want to throw it from?
Now that's the democratic process, as you see with Doug Moe. Let's go now to a dictatorship in Bob Lanier.
Bombs here, all right? We're going to dribble him out. There's a 2-man right here. We're going to dribble the 2-man out to that side. Come over here. 5 come up here. Set the pick for him coming here. The 4 and the 3 guy go over here somewhere so that you get them out the way so that he has a lane to go. Okay?
See, both coaches are trying to let the guys excel. And by going with the lob with Doug Moe, what he wants to do is to jazz up the crowd, let a player with great leaping ability show his power and what he can do. Bob at the other end right now is trying to create movement, and it's really nice this evening because you're seeing guys who have not played together. Last night, let's face it, they didn't scrimmage. They just came out, walked through a couple things, shot around for an hour, and then you expect them to come out here and execute. You know, it's just nice to see the unselfish play.
The only player out of all these 16 who hasn't scored is Bob Sura, who's defending Tyus Edney right now. Talk about the unselfish play. Everybody getting a chance here. Here's Michael Finley's pull-up. Sura kept it alive. Back to Sura on the run. Williams, good ball control, goaltending. Antonio McDyess. The lob to Finley. Doesn't connect from more than half court. 2 minutes to go in the first half of play. I guess that's Doug Moe. You heard him in the timeout over there asking him where they wanted to make that play for somebody to get Finley to get his jam on the lob. They didn't say from half court. Here's Sura. Now he's scored. All 16 of these rookies have scratched.
Bobby Sura is doing an excellent job at Cleveland. He plays two positions, point and the two guard.
The penetration by Edney. You talk about him being a blur.
Well, what I like about him is that he's not concerned about his size. And he has the quickness. And you always look for point guards who are quick from the top of the circle to the other top of the circle. Because the fast break, the completion of a break is just one step at the NBA level. So he not only has that ability, but then if you defend it, he's very quick in his crossover behind the back, through the legs, what have you, and then he can finish in the paint.
Big Country Reeves knocks them both down. Played, of course, at Oklahoma State. He's 22 years old, 7 feet, nearly 300 pounds. Big Country, that was a nickname that came from his college teammates when he took his first coast-to-coast airplane trip. And he came back and they said, "What'd you think?" And he says, "Geez, it's a big country." Kurt Thomas playing it in. 1:20 to go in the half.
A Big Country's making a solid contribution at Vancouver ever since they made the Benoit Benjamin trade and put him in that starting lineup.
Dice missing, Sura rebounding. East running.
Cleveland, Mike Fratello, they're very happy with Sura. They like his development.
Trying to make him into a point guard in Cleveland. That's hard to learn, of course.
The feed from Garnett. See, Garnett has talent, Bob. He can run the floor. He can ball handle, take the middle of the break. Now, that was just a beautiful soft pass. He could have caught that, dunked it, and you saw how happy he was when the play was completed.
1 point game. Garnett has 3 assists. Zedek. Edney controlling. Look out from behind. Punched away by Stackhouse. Sura has Zedek and Stackhouse. The lob to Jerry Stackhouse. He's in the slam dunk competition. 48-45 East. 30 seconds or less to go in the first half. Finley. Garnett from Farragut High School in Chicago. Long range with 10 seconds left. That's my old neighborhood, not far from Marshall High Commandos.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get it.
Farragut Admirals. Of course, now they've really sophisticated it up and called it Farragut Academy. Thank you very much.
We have some guys taking threes here from the old NBA threes. All right.
Entertaining first half, 48-45. The East out in front. The East, the quicker running team. The West, the bigger team. And we've got a nice, entertaining rookie game and another 15-minute halftime coming up from San Antonio, Texas. Don't go away.
It's All-Star Saturday here on TNT. Halfway home in the Schick rookie game. Only 15-minute halves they're playing. And look at these scores. 48-45. The East leading the West. Everybody, all 16 rookies have scored. The only guy in double digits, Damon Stoudemire with 10 points and 3 assists. Arvydas Sabonis has 8 points for the Western Stars. Ernie Johnson here along with Chuck Daly. And well, we've seen a lot of everything. Some outstanding plays, some interesting coaching in this first half, Chuck.
Yeah, I thought coaching prevailed. Doug Moe to get the lob from midcourt, but entertaining half. Stoudemire playing his usual role. When that point guard has the ball, he can control the game. But Brent Barry, really spectacular passing, and looks like he's going to be a star in this league.
Yeah, some nice passing. Great assist by Brent Barry in the first half, and also he's going to be in the slam dunk contest a little bit later. Coming up after the Schick rookie game, it's the Foot Locker $1 million shot. There were more than 6 million entries in this nationwide contest, and at random, 2 shooters were chosen. Those 2 went head-to-head in Houston for the right to shoot the shot in San Antonio. So at the summit about 10 days ago, it was Vicky Chalfant. She's a paralegal from Portland, Oregon. And Demetrius Houston, 17-year-old from Fort Pierce, Florida. That's the shot that clinched it for Demetrius. He won the right to shoot for $1 million on All-Star Weekend in San Antonio. He has been training with George Gervin, the Iceman, the recently inducted into the Hall of Fame, George Gervin. And right now, Craig Sager is standing by with Iceman. Craig?
Well, he got into the Hall of Fame because he was always cool under pressure. He could always bury that shot. What about your protege? Is he nervous?
I mean, of course he's a little nervous, but, you know, I mean, he's not really displaying it to where, you know, he can't hardly walk. The kid really feel and believe he can make that shot, and I believe he may make it.
Are you going to get a cut of the $1 million?
No, I don't want none.
Oh, I'll get you something. Good luck, Coach. Let's go back to you, Ernie.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. That'll be coming up in less than an hour when he shoots for the $1 million, the Foot Locker $1 million shot. When we come back, last year they shared Rookie of the Year honors. Tomorrow both will start in the NBA All-Star Game. The story of Jason Kidd and Grant Hill, as told by Craig Sager, coming up next.
Hey NBA fans, for more vintage NBA content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. NBA at its best. Thank you.
NBA All-Star Saturday night on TNT is brought.
As we continue here on All-Star Saturday, let's go down to Craig Sager now courtside with a look at a couple of rookies who really made an impact last year and again this year. Craig?
Well, Ernie, you know, we talked about Demetrius Houston having George Gervin, a Hall of Famer, as a coach. Now he's getting an assist from Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd and Grant Hill, co-rookies of the year last year. In the balloting this year, they combined for 2.5 million votes. That's more as running mates than the first 17 presidents of the United States. Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, two of the best basketball players in the game and two of the most popular athletes on the planet.
Jason Kidd is a great player, and I think for me and for him, I think being the same year, being in the same class, the rookie class of '95, and there's a friendly rivalry between us, but also at the same time, we kind of cheer for one another. We want to do well. We want to compete against one another, and the fact that both of us have really stepped our games up and have done well on the court, but also fans really liking us and voting us on the All-Star team as starters is really feels good, not only for me, but I feel good for him.
It feels great inside that your dream has come true and that you're out there playing with the best players that ever played the game. And also, it's just one of those things that, you know, you can tell your children about once you retire.
By the All-Star break, early flashes of brilliance are countered by glaring deficiencies in most rising stars' games. But these two had a major impact through the course of a long season.
I think for myself, everybody has to be mentally strong to play this game. For me, it was just, you know, going out there playing as hard as I can. And you're going to have some bumps and bruises, but the veterans will bring you along.
I guess in looking back now, I can say I hit the wall a little bit. And it's tough when you're playing and you're adjusting to 82 games and your team's not doing too well. It really takes its toll, especially mentally. And that's where you have to really focus in hard and be mentally strong.
As rookies, Kidd and Hill were both blessed and burdened by having their games favorably compared to Magic and Michael. They are now both all-stars in their own right, rising to the next galaxy.
I think what I want to be remembered as in this game is that I went out there and played hard, and that the people can leave the stand and say, wow, I never seen anybody pass the ball like that.
I'd like to get the MVP last year. I mean, it'll be tough with all those. You got Penny, you got Michael, you got Pippen. All those guys like to shoot, and you got Shaq. But, you know, ideally I'd like to get the All-Star MVP, but I think realistically just to win and to contribute.
What happens if you ask Michael for his autograph, and he in turn asks you for yours?
To Michael, may all your wishes be granted. No, just joking, Mike, just joking.
A wrist injury will keep Grant Hill out of the slam dunk contest. He will play tomorrow when the East meets the West, and so will Jason Kidd, bothered by a bad back in the past few days, but I think he's okay. He had a career-high 25 assists in a double overtime win over the Jazz just the other night. The second half of the Schick rookie game is coming up, and followed by, oh, there he is, Demetrius Houston. We're pulling for you, kid. That's coming up later.
What's up, y'all? This is Ed Lover. Hey, this is Dr. Dre, and we'll be playing Who's the Man all day long. That's right, and be sure to catch us in the TNT Big Premiere, Who's the Man, around 10:30 tonight. Go ahead, shoot, boy, shoot, boy.
Two teams in 15 minutes. I figured that out in my own mind. Not Marty Aronoff over to my left here. That's 5 shot attempts a minute.
Well, you'd say that would be 250 shots a game.
Very good.
NBA.
Like that.
And usually you get about 170. But we are seeing some sensational plays.
How about the dunks? 3 of these 4 dunks you're going to see, 3 of these are in the competition. This man is not.
Now we've seen very nice passing. This is a beautiful drop off to McDyess, who's sending it home. In the first half, McDyess had 7 points, 4 rebounds. Here we have a nice drop off. A beautiful finish by Finley.
My pick in the draft, in the slam dunk.
Slam dunk. 7 points for Finley. Then we have Jerry Stackhouse ending it. The East, out on top in this game, out hustling. Stackhouse with 7 points. And then we have Rasheed Wallace.
To Brent Barry.
No, to Brent Barry. And Brent Barry just made a beautiful that twister. He has 6 points in only 7 minutes of play.
Yeah, Brent Barry could be considered a dark horse in the slam dunk competition, too. He's 6'6", very lively, very athletic, and told me that if he gets to the second round, he's going to have a Dr. J. Michael Jordan kind of risky dunk. I said, why don't you just try it in the first round?
You have to have something as you're moving along.
Yeah, that's what he said.
In this first half, Sabonis only played 4 minutes. He had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and then Zita came off the bench in 6 minutes. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Left side, left side.
All right, Bob Lanier giving his East All-Stars for the rookies their instructions. 15-minute halves. This is the second half. It's 48-45, East leading the West. The East, the quicker, smaller team. You see here with the looks of Stoudemire, and you see the bigger, more powerful team in the form of McDyess coming down with that missed shot. Here's Finley.
Oh, beautiful. That was beautiful because he had to adjust the catch, bring it down, and then go back.
1 point game. Eric Williams, Providence, driving on Barry. Clean Smith off the glass. Pretty move.
You have to be impressed with him. I tell you, he just takes you on. He goes right in your face. He had 7 points in the first half.
Look at the pass from Barry. Tyus Edney smiling embarrassedly as he missed that one. Tyus said his legs were tired. He played 37 minutes Wednesday night. Barry takes it away from Stackhouse, but it's lost out of bounds. And Stackhouse will inbound it.
That was a very tough pass for Stackhouse to capture. I thought he just made an outstanding move to control it.
Barry knocks it out of bounds again as Eric Williams tries to get it in play. There's Brent, the second to the youngest of the Barry brothers. Drew, the senior at Georgia Tech, having a nice year this year. Finley blocks it out of there, but McDyess comes to follow.
Yeah, McDyess is quick. You're talking about a very, very strong body at 6'10", and he's really deceptive. He's only 220 pounds.
Alan Henderson.
I like Henderson game. He's doing a very nice job for Atlanta. He has to play big forward as well as the center position.
McDyess gets that feed from Finley. We talked about big. In white, by the way, the West All-Stars. The color uniforms of their home teams. The East. McDyess now with 11 points. He is the game's high scorer, passing up Stoudemire, who had 10 at the half. Here's Stackhouse. Up and under. Goaltending. Count the basket for Jerry Stackhouse.
That was a very nice move. A good call, Bob, with the up and under. He gets a defensive player. Now just watch as he swings out right here. He steps under, but this is good team defense.
Joe Smith, number 1 pick in the draft, dishes it off to Barry. They were involved in a trade. Smith, L.A. to Golden State.
Now that was pretty. Barry faked the pass, and Edney went back door on Stoudemire. Give it up. Nice.
Edney with the layup.
Right now, the East has got to regroup. Stop trying to force it. Just bring it up a little bit and play like you did in the first half.
1 point game. Stoudemire, defended by Edney, pulls up from long range. Kept alive by Williams. Back up hard to the hole. The dish to Henderson. And Alan Henderson scoring down inside. Has 9. Barry saves it to McDyess. And McDyess now the game's leading scorer with 13.
With that Denver front line, Mutombo, LaFonso Ellis, and McDyess, they're rather impressive.
Yeah, so is Henderson, 11 for Allen.
I like Allen's game. He's the leading rebounder, leading shot blocker in the history of Indiana basketball, as well as the 5th leading scorer. When you think of the guys who have come out of that program.
16 lead changes in this game. Everything you hope for. 58-57 East. Joe Smith backing it in. And he's fouled by Alan Henderson.
When we went out and did the Golden State LA Laker game, Rick Edelman telling us that they ran no plays for Joe Smith in like the first 20 games. So everything he was doing, he was just reacting to what was happening. He gets 4 offensive rebounds a game. Now, Dennis Rodman is up over 5, but there are very few guys in this league who get 4. So then, once he started to improve his game and get more confidence, now they're running plays for him. And I think that what he has done in the last 2 weeks has just been outstanding. They love his attitude. They love his work habits. And now he's starting to feel comfortable.
And here's a team, as Rick Edelman would say, a team that's had controversy, a team that's had players wanting to be traded, like Tim Hardaway, of course, and arguments over minutes and so on and so forth, and a rookie breaking in. And as Rick Edelman said, he has kept his poise and his head despite the storm clouds. That's a lot to be asked for with a rookie. Into George Zedek. Left-handed hook shot.
Nice. I tell you, he has 10 points now in this game.
Smith tipped away by Henderson. Yeah, Zedek, effective player inside this game.
Arvydas Sabonis has a back problem. And I think that what has happened is he played in the game. He has his sweats on over there, and I'm not so sure that he probably will not play again this evening.
14 points now for Joe Smith. McDyess has 13, 27 from the 2 forwards who started for the West. 62-60. Stoudemire kicks it out to Zedek. Michael Finley. In a crowd, gets rid of it to Edney. Penetration, scoop won't go. Joe Smith keeps it alive. Touchdown inside. Jump ball.
Tyus got himself caught in a jam that time. One of the very few times you have seen him force a shot. He got down in there, elevated, and ended up with a high degree of difficulty.
Alan Henderson, Joe Smith will jump it. Edney tried to get the lob to Finley, picked off by Alan Henderson. Stolen by Net, and the jam by Finley. 4-point lead for the West with 10:50 to go in the rookie All-Star game. Sura's alone. West. Edney. It's over Stoudemire. Zedek with the rebound to Stoudemire on the run. Eric Williams was going to give a lob to Sura. Lost it to Finley. This is Garnett. Look out. Brent Barry back in the game. Also, we're going to get Antonio McDyess. And you're right about Arvydas Sabonis. I don't think he will be back. And you pointed out, and we want to emphasize to this, that he's, of course, history of knee and Achilles, but he's also got a back problem now. Plays limited minutes very effectively with Portland, but said he wanted to make an appearance here. It took him till he was 31 years old to become a rookie in the NBA.
You have to compliment him on his career in Europe, and you say, well, why did he stay? He stayed basically also because of the injuries and not as demanding the type of competition that he would have had to take on in the NBA. Plus, he was the highest paid player over there. And we remember him as the gold medal winner, and then a lot in the 92 Olympics with Lithuania when they took the silver with Marcellus.
Garnett with the 10. Garnett has 5 points.
Well, Kevin Garnett is getting major minutes now as a starter for Minnesota. And you have to like the numbers that he's putting up in the last 2 weeks, as well as the team is playing much better.
Look at that. Barry and Finley double-team Stackhouse. Then Stackhouse comes away with a steal down at the other end on a bad pass from Barry. Stackhouse inside Kurt Thomas. 37-62.
Whoa.
Finley tried to get it to Garnett. 67-62 West with 9:48 to go in this game.
Now we know Garnett has some hop.
Yeah.
But he
with his high roof in the Alamo Dome, you can throw the pass unlimited height. Here is Eric Williams, not his shot. Finley looked for Barry, who cut to the hoop and came back, and Finley loses it out of bounds. 9:30 to go in this game. West by 5. Bob Sura. Pass Barry in the traffic. Going to be fouled by Big Country Reeve. When you've been fouled by Bryant Reeves, you've been fouled by one of the best.
Well, Bobby Sura out of Florida State, he had just a sensational career down there. He's the all-time leading scorer, scored over 2,100 points. Then you get drafted by a team like Cleveland that plays slow-down basketball. You are an off guard. You've played with guys on your team, Sam Cassell, Charlie Ward, who handled the ball, Doug Edwards up court. So you know you've played on guys who are in the NBA. All of a sudden you come here and they tell you, you know what, you're going to be a point guard for us, as well as a two-guard.
It's been tough because they have Crowley. John Crowley's the backup point guard to Terrell Brandon. It's tough to get minutes.
Absolutely.
Reeves with the lay-in. Eric Williams working that baseline.
Well, right now, the West is not getting back. The East are getting a lot of easy anytime they push the ball on the break. Barry wanted a block that time, and that shot was released right in front of us, and I do believe Sura got a piece of it.
He did, in fact, but no call. We have a timeout on the floor with 8:47 to go in the second half. The 1996 rookie East-West game. The West up by 4.
And this is a guy thing, right?
The all-new Tracer FX with its unique skin guard
Is this a sensitive part?
is designed to give a man a smooth shave with less irritation. Chic.
Along with LL Cool J looking the same. And our main man, Shaquille O'Neal, watching tonight. And another celebrity, Cheryl Miller. Cheryl.
I don't know about being a celebrity, but I'll tell you something. The Admiral David Robinson, it's wonderful to have you here. Let me ask you this. You were Rookie of the Year. They didn't have the rookie game. What kind of experience do these guys get out of an event like this?
It's the best. I think the kids come in, the guys come in, and they realize, hey, I'm as good as any of these guys, and I can play with these guys. And I think it gives them a new level of confidence when they go back to their teams.
You played on dream teams, Olympic teams, all-star teams. Where does the all-star weekend rank as far as events for you?
Well, it's getting to be unbelievable proportions, but it ranks pretty high because this is the time we get a chance to get to know each other off the floor. We're always beating each other's heads in during the season, so now it's a real special time for us.
All right, David, thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend. Let's go back to you, Bob and Hewley.
Oh, my. Cheryl and David, did you see that jam? Reversed by Brent Barry. David Robinson, Sean Elliott, Charles Smith, San Antonio looking pretty good after the trade with the Stackhouse. Kurt Thomas.
Kurt Thomas, the horse. I like what Damon Stoudemire said about this game. They said, whoa, yes. Way to finish.
Garnett. Now this is Wallace back on the other end. Bryant Reeves commits the foul, stops the hoop. 73-67 West.
They said to Damon Stoudemire, asked him the question, are you enjoying yourself? Listen, he said, I'm having a lot of fun and meeting guys. He said, I really don't know them well. He says, stop and think about this. You've got to make the most of this weekend because you might not ever be here again.
Boy, that is a young man who understands, and that's literally possible. The only way back, slam dunk, three-point, or all-stars.
That's right. And on the line right now, we have Rasheed Wallace.
Or the $1 million shot, which is coming up right after this game, by the way. Demetrius Houston, a 17-year-old, the Foot Locker $1 million shot, selected at random along with a young lady. The two of them shot it out. He won the shootout and the right to appear here for $1 million right after this game. 7:47 remaining here, 73-69 West. West and White. Dice over Wallace. Nice game.
Yeah, he's having a nice game. He has 15 points and 7 rebounds right now. Joe Smith has 14 points and 5 for the West. 5 rebounds.
Zedek on the hook again. Not this time. Garnett on the run. Barry. Edney. Pull up. Tyus Edney with double figures now.
Tyus having a great year, Bob. He plays 31 minutes a game, averages right at 11 points. And the fact is that, he's shooting fairly decently for a little guy at 43.
Stoudemire working on him down among the tall trees. Nice dish to Stackhouse, fouled by Brent Barry. We're talking about Edney. Edney also, with his 10 points, has 6 assists.
Stoudemire for the East has 10 points and 8 assists. Zedek, 10 points, 6 rebounds. Henderson and Eric Williams each with 11 points for the East.
Jerry Stackhouse, one of 6 rookies from the Philadelphia 76ers to be in the first round, be one of the leading vote getters, Rookie of the Year. One of those rookies for the 76ers was a young man who was picked in 1973 named Doug Collins. Edney with the drive. Stoudemire shuts him out. Here's Barry on the drive of the dish. Edney. West looking a lot of guard-oriented at the moment. Barry with the near steal out of bounds. 6:39 to go. 6-point West lead. 36,037 is Anthony Hardaway, who was the MVP in the very first Chick Rookie All-Star game.
And then last year, Eddie Jones out of Temple with the Los Angeles Lakers was MVP with 25 points. Penny had 22 points the year that he won it.
Barry to Garnett in the paint. Look at that pass to Joe Smith over Alan Henderson. Joe Smith, that's a 3.
Well, people said he didn't have a game facing. He's proving it tonight that he's going to shoot and he's going to make them. That is his another 3, and we told you coming into this game that he had only attempted 10. He had made 4 during this young season.
Yeah, he has 3 in this game tonight. We may be seeing more of that in the second half. Barry gets the deflected ball. West on the run. Smith. Barry's going to take it all the way, but Stackhouse pulls it right off the glass. And now the East on the run. Henderson to Thomas.
That was a great block at the other end by Stackhouse.
Look at that! Look at that! I can't wait to see this. Stackhouse face to face with Joe Smith, and the ball ends up jammed on the rim.
Yep. Stackhouse really gets a piece of this.
Oh.
Just watch now. On the previous one, he also blocked it there. He picked that one off also.
These are youngsters, and they're great athletes. Average age from 19 years old to take out Sabonis to 24.
Well, the second oldest player in this game is Brent Barry,
Brent
24 years of age.
It's a tough pop quiz. I have to watch you at every minute.
No, well, I mean, it's interesting. The majority of the guys at 22. Few at 23. Brent Barry at 24.
All right, we've got a 5-point game now. Biggest lead in the game has been 9 points by the West, but now it's 80-75 with 5:28. And like so many times in these all-star games, there's a lot of fun, shaking and baking. It gets down to the last 5 minutes or so, the competitive juices start flowing, and they're looking to win the game. Here's McDyess. Barry for 3. Stoudemire, good pass from Stackhouse. He's so quick to the hole.
The reason why Toronto is so competitive, they have lost a bushel of games by 3 points or less. It's his ability to finish in the open floor. He has 14 points tonight as well as 8 assists, and then the ability to break the defense down off the dribble and deliver the pass.
He's down only 3 points now with this run going on. They were down 9 just a minute ago. West looking for time. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Garnett will take the jumper, not his shot. The follow by Joe Smith and the foul with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Now, let me tell you what happened there. That was a pass. Garnett is telling McDyess, that was a pass. That was a line drive right to you. He's looking for him to elevate for the dunk. Now they're going off the floor right now. McDyess, they're laughing right now. But, Garnett is saying, hey, wait a second. You know what I mean? Bob Neal is nailing me out here for having a bad touch.
Very flat. Very flat shot. And I'm sorry, Kevin, but I'm going to stay with that no matter what you tell Antonio or myself.
Joe Smith for the year is just having a wonderful season. He's averaging 33 minutes a game. And you look at it, he averages 16 points. He's right there at 8 rebounds. But the nice thing about it is he shoots 48 from the field, and then the clincher, 80% on the line. Reason being, he gets there 5 times a night, and he converts. Big key.
And that'll go up. He'll be double-digit in the free throw line in a couple of years. In country to Brent Barry. Edney, lob. Joe Smith couldn't control it. Look at those leaps. Here is Alan Henderson.
Nice.
Oh, nice play by Eric Williams. we saw him with Boston earlier in the year, and he was impressive then. But in this kind of game, Eric Williams does show you how much of an athlete he is. The foul by Stoudemire.
Well, the main key is for a player his size that he's out running the wing on the break. Big guys will always run if the player in the middle with the ball is unselfish. And tonight, we're just seeing guys give it up.
Joe Smith with 18 points as he steps up to the line. The foul on Eric Williams. Bob Lanier coaching the East. Doug Moe coaching the West. And we're down here to a 3-point game. Smith hoping to build that lead to 4 as Brent Barry sits down.
You know, we always talk about rookies need minutes. Right now out on the floor, of the 16 guys in this game, only 3 are playing on winning teams. And that is Edney, Sura, as well as Henderson. A lot of these guys on the East are on teams that are, you know, it's difficult to get minutes.
10 on the shot clock. Stackhouse down inside of Rasheed Wallace. Puts it on the floor and loses it. Henderson with 4 on the clock. Left hand doesn't follow. Eric Williams with a new shot clock. And this game getting competitive now. 83-79, West leading. Last year's score was 83-79. How about that? That was in overtime. But here with 3:52 to go, you see how many more points are being scored in this game. 2 15-minute halves, and we're going to get up near 100. Wallace out of his range. Reeves.
Well, Stackhouse made that strong move, and McDyess just sent it back.
Foul on Henderson.
Now keep an eye on this. You know, Stackhouse makes a nice move, but right at there. Now Smith was there, but the guy who put it down, McDyess.
Ty Edney from UCLA. Injured in the Final Four. Hands it off to Big Country. Lost the handle and follows. 85-79, 6-point lead. Wallace.
Oh, tough shot. Yeah, very tough shot. Tough shot. Caught it, was behind the board, spun himself out.
You know, I said something the other day. This game is in some ways what could be a college All-American game with so many underclassmen playing. That's Ty Edney knocking it down.
Good point, Bob.
Stoudemire defended by Edney. 2 of the fine young little men in the game. Pick and roll. Pick and drive. More like it. And the follow. Eric Williams. And Eric has 15.
He's quick. Once you get him in that painted area, he will find a way to get off a shot, a clear shot.
Williams is the leading scorer, by the way, for the East. 4-point game. West trying to build on that lead. McDyess from 17. That won't do it. Here is Jerry Stackhouse coming back. Chance to cut the lead to 2. Inside to Henderson. Tied up by Reeves. Follows anyway. The block. Henderson staying with it.
That was McDyess again. 3-on-1.
McDyess with an easy lay in there. 89-83 West. West a big team.
McDyess, you get the full package. You get the scoring, the rebounding, the shot blocking, and the quickness in changing ends.
Here's Craig Sager.
Juwan Howard in the rookie game last year nearly had a triple-double. Now you're in the big show tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to this. It's a dream come true for me, but I just had to thank God just for being in this position.
What advice to these rookies out here to come back next year?
Well, for one, I just tell them, just to work hard in all season. That's what it's all about. And don't get caught up into the little hoopla. Let's go out and play your game, and hopefully it happens.
Great advice. Let's go back to Bob and Hubie.
Juwan Howard, I flew from Atlanta. He had Bullets had played the Hawks as we flew down here. Juwan Howard, of course, is Chicagoan, and also went to the University of Michigan. I told him I would make sure to take care of his public relations for the rest of his career. How about him? Free agent at the end of the year. Washington hoping to hold him. A lot of teams just drooling.
Well, because he's a hard worker, he gets the job done, and he can play 2 positions, forward or small forward.
He's South Sider in Chicago, went to vocational. This is Joe Smith. Stoudemire with the rebound. Penetration from Stoudemire. You know that one of the executives up in Toronto really likes his game.
Yeah, well,
you know, with Zeke.
Isaiah went out on a limb. Remember now when he was introduced, come on, people were not that happy with that choice. But I know things have changed in a big way since the draft.
Yeah, a lot of people were very concerned about that. 89-87, 2-point game with 1:07 to go here, but the West going to the free throw line.
If he make a timeout.
Kevin Garnett, you heard Bob Lanier said if you make it, call timeout. West up by 2 at the free throw line.
Kevin Garnett in high school, in your favorite city, Chicago, in his senior year, came up from South Carolina. He only averaged 25 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists, and 7 blocks a game at the high school level. And you know that in the city league, he wasn't playing against chopped liver.
That's a fact. Tonight, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists for Garnett. Farragut Academy. Stoudemire takes the long three and knocks it down. That's a big one because it ties the game with under a minute to go. We're looking at another potential overtime game here. We had one last year. Finley tied up in the paint. Garnett to Barry. 15 on the shot clock. Bench driving. Punched away. Good steal. Stoudemire. The East has come from behind. They were down 9, up by 2, 35 seconds remaining in the 96 rookie All-Star game. Edney on the drive fouled by Alan Henderson.
Now, that play we're going to see again. This is a great move by Stoudemire. This is a player, you know, with a lot of talent and then outstanding vision. Naturally, Stackhouse can finish.
So Tyus Edney goes to the line with 30 seconds left. The East on a 21-10 run.
For the winners in this game, the winners get $4,000.
Yeah.
The losers get $3,000. In the big All-Star game tomorrow, the winners get $12,000. The losers
box
get $6,000.
Out, box.
Edney. And it's tied at 92 with 30 seconds left. Timeout called by Bob Lanier. And the East, Doug Moe, you're looking at, the coach of the West. The West had a 9-point lead.
Right,
and let's listen in to Doug Moe.
Now, once again, Weber, Swat, Rocky, and
Antonio, take Brent. Now look, just help each other out defensively. If Stackhouse is driving, I want someone to be able to run at him, make it tough. They can't make the passes in here, but be aggressive. Don't just let a guy penetrate like, what's his name? The Stoudemire comes in and penetrates. Brent, you got to do a better job at going at people defensively. But here's what we're going to do offensively. If they score, all right?
Are you going to have Allen right here for the jump shot?
Now Bob Lanier.
All right? You got to set a good pick. Do you understand that? You got to get your body on it. The big man is going to go with you. If you can't beat him, Allen's going to be wide open. Okay. Right away if you take a foul ball. We got, look here, Damon. We're going to run it with about 7 seconds left on the shot.
Mike, and you'll hit him out. But look like you're going to make the move and then hit him for the 3. If they don't score, we'll probably call timeout. Yeah.
All right, we're tied at 92, 30 seconds left in this game, Hubie.
Yeah, well, Bob Lanier in the East, they're going to use a play, probably a screen and roll with Stoudemire, and then they're looking for the defense to move, hopefully opening it up for Alan Henderson. Now, let's see if it develops. Now, remember, we're asking guys to execute perfectly, and this is the first time they played together. Okay. Now, he's going to freeze the clock, run it down to about 6 or 7 seconds, and then make his move.
See the time running out. That's in the game. There will be overtime if it's
Here comes Henderson to set the screen.
Stoudemire pulls up.
He said, I am not going screen and roll. I'm taking him one-on-one.
6 seconds left, though. A lot of time. Edney pushing it forward. 4 seconds. 3. Edney on the drive. I've got 1 second of that time. That won't count. Waved it off. Joe Smith hit what would have been the winning three-pointer, and it's waved off, and the East gets the victory, 94-92. Wow, entertaining rookie all-star game. Gene Wallace basket gives the East the win. Wave off the 3. It was after the buzzer.
Now you can see it was definitely late, but
thrilling. He ran all the way down the floor and skidded on his back. All right.
Oh, this is entertaining. I'm telling you. Each year, this game gets better. This is the winning bucket from Wallace. Rasheed Wallace knocks down the winning bucket.
East, baby. Now I'm going to show you how the East Coast rock. Right there.
Eric Williams, Rasheed Wallace there. The East had Stoudemire, 19 points, 11 assists, which ties for a high for a rookie guard. Stackhouse had 15. Williams had 15. Wallace had 12 in a game winner. Smith, 20 points and 6 rebounds for the West. And McDyess had 17 and 7. Entertaining start to All-Star Saturday night. Stay with us. Well, buzzer sounded. The MVP in this game, how about this? 19 points, 11 assists, 4 steals. You got it. Damon Stoudemire, the Schick MVP. And Joe Smith, we were wondering if Joe Smith won it. We'd had Joe Smith giving the MVP to Joe Smith, but Damon Stoudemire solved that dilemma. And let's go to Craig Sager right now.
Well, first of all, I got to ask you, do you think that three-pointer was going to go in and maybe you're told maybe he stole it from you?
Yeah, I did. You know, I heard the ref when he said the game was over, but still, though, anything can happen. And Joe, he played a great game, and he had hit a couple threes. And when he hit that, you know, I didn't know what to think. But when I seen the ref wave his arms, I knew we had won the game.
Back in the draft, some people said Damon Stoudemire is not a true point guard. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas disagreed with it. You've been under his tutelage. Obviously, you had his type of game here today.
Yeah, you know, I talked to Zeke right before this game started, and he just told me to play well. You know, I told the people at Toronto that they had learned to appreciate my play, and I think they have up to this point. I just hope that I can continue to play well for them.
Is it tough trying to lead an expansion team? Would you rather have all-star teammates all the time?
Yes, it's very tough. You know, it's hard to come out and try to play as hard as you can and know that sometimes we're just outmatched. But we come out and we give 100% effort every night, and we've been in a lot of games. So that's all we can do, and I think we're playing well for expansion.
Well, rookie MVP, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Bob.
All right, thank you, Craig Sager. It was an exciting game again. This is the third rookie All-Star game. First year, a guard, Anthony Hardaway, who's done okay in the league. Second year, Eddie Jones, who's done okay in the league. And now Damon Stoudemire. Stoudemire with 19 points, 11 assists, 4 steals. Your overall view of this game, I found it very entertaining.
Well, this is by far the best of the three that we have done. Better competition, better athletes, and I like the way that they divided the teams up, West and East. And what we saw, big and strong, small and quick, you can play at this level. We saw an awful lot of high wire acts, great athleticism. I'm happy for Stoudemire. He's going in the footsteps of his mentor, Isaiah Thomas, who only won the MVP twice in big-time All-Star games.
You got that right.
Now, it's been a great evening, Bob. The fans have definitely had a delight. Let's hope that the next three events are just as exciting.
And speaking of the next event, how about this one coming up? The Foot Locker $1 Million Shot. This is 17-year-old Demetrius Houston from Fort Pierce, Florida, who won in a shootout after being randomly selected from 6 million entrants. And in just minutes, he'll come out here to center court, George Gervin coaching him, to take a shot attempt for $1 million. You can hear his heart beating from here. Has already died down. You can feel the tension in here. Only moments away before the introduction of the $1 Million Shot. Here it comes. Let's go to PA announcer Stan Kelly.
And now, please give him a big hand as he enters the court for the Foot Locker $1 Million Shot, Demetrius Houston. Demetrius is with his parents, Jerome and Maxine Houston, his brother Brandon, and his coach, the Iceman, George Gervin.
Demetrius Houston defeated 29-year-old Vicky Chalfant of Oregon in the preliminary round. The two of them were selected. You see George Gervin there. Were selected at random from 6 million entries. They went into a 5-round competition with the first one to score 2 points when they didn't tie on the threes, moving on. And that's how Demetrius Houston got here to take the $1 Million Shot.
Demetrius, take your shot. You ready? You ready?
For $1 million. Well, different than Mike Boban last year. $10,000 will go to Demetrius. George Gervin's best words couldn't help him.
Now, let's face it, he's not a high school basketball player. He was a defensive halfback at Forest Pierce for 3 years of high school football. He's a recreation player, and they said to him, are you nervous? He said, I'm a little nervous, but I just want to stay focused, keep my feet under me. But, hey, that's okay. He said, with the money, what do I want to do with that money? He said, I have a 1985 Pontiac Sunbird. He said, what I want to do is I want to get a new Honda Accord. Not bad.
$10,000 will help him out.
There you go.
And a smart choice there for his gas mileage and all of that. I guess that will be some sort of commercial we'll have to pay for. Here's the $10,000 check. The family of young Demetrius Houston, they're very happy. Nice trip. Great time at the All-Star game. You see Steve Moore making the presentation here, the VP and General Sales Manager for Foot Locker. And Demetrius Houston gets $10,000 one more time at the $1 million shot attempt for Demetrius Houston. Looked good coming off the fingers. You know what all the advice is? All the advice, Hubie, is never leave it short.
Well, you know what? I was kind of surprised because he loves that spot right there. That is the longest place to take the three-point shot.
Yeah.
All right, in the NBA.
In the three-point shooting contest, most of the shots are knocked down right at the top or in the corner.
There you go. And I was kind of surprised that he did not go to the top or the corner. But, he had confidence. He won the preliminary contest doing it that way on that spot. Craig Sager, watched them all day yesterday when he was working with Gervin, and he just loves it, and he made them yesterday. So, but I'm happy that there's a consolation prize this year. I thought that was the most disappointing thing last year was no prize.
Well, $10,000 goes to Demetrius. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, Demetrius, congratulations on a great trip, winning the preliminary contest, winning $10,000. Let's start on a high note. What's it been like for you?
Well, it's been all right for me, and I was just focusing, but just a little sweat that dropped in my face that took me off my shot.
We talked about the practice, but there was no way you could duplicate the tension, the emotion, the pressure walking in. How do you describe what it was like, how your legs felt when you looked around and saw all these people and all the All-Stars watching you?
I felt a little nervous, but it was all right.
What were you going to do with $1 million?
Well, I was going to invest in a major business and go off to college.
But now you got $10,000.
Well, I can still do the same. Go off to college.
When you're a little nervous, what did you feel? Were your legs rubbery? Was the hand tight? Chest pumping?
My hand was kind of tight, but it doesn't matter.
All right, well, you didn't win $1 million, but you got $10,000. Congratulations to the family, and good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bob.
All right, Craig, thanks. I've got a great idea. I don't know if Foot Locker wants to buy this. How about we add to like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, like the lottery, Every time somebody misses. Before long, you got $10 million. Nobody's heart could stand it. It's been fun the first half. Dick Stockton, Danny Ainge going to step in here in just a moment to bring you the three-point shootout and also the slam dunk. But how about the rookie game? Stoudemire was the MVP. Williams with 15, Stackhouse 15, Wallace 12 for the West. Joe Smith, who hit that three-pointer just after the buzzer that would have won it for the West, had 20. McDyess 17 and 7 boards, and Edney 14 and 7. Entertaining ball game.
Absolutely. The East, 6 of the 8 players at double figures. Very nice.
All right, we've had a good time here, and we've got a lot more to come on All-Star Saturday night. And let's go back to our main man, Ernie Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Funny thing, folks, the practice court for Demetrius Houston is right over the ledge of our perch here. Before he took the court, he drained 4 in a row, and we thought, hey, this might happen. You get out there, you get the crowd roaring. It's a tough moment. A moment he'll never forget for Demetrius Houston. Still to come, the AT&T shootout. That's next on our agenda on All-Star Saturday. Keep it here on TNT.
In February of 1996, the NBA found itself in the middle of a generational shift. Veterans still dominated the league, but a promising group of young stars was beginning to emerge. To showcase this new wave of talent, the league brought the Rookie Challenge back to center stage at All-Star Weekend. On February 10th, 1996, the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas, played host to the latest edition of the NBA's annual Rookie Exhibition, where the brightest first-year players from each conference faced off in front of a roaring crowd of over 36,000 fans. Unlike the previous year's format, which had rookies divided into Team White and Team Green, the 1996 Rookie Challenge adopted a more traditional alignment. Rookies from the Eastern Conference squared off against rookies from the Western Conference. This East versus West setup brought added intensity to the matchup, giving it the feel of a true contest rather than a laid-back exhibition. The game itself was fast-paced and physical, with both teams showcasing a blend of raw energy and budding star power. The Western Conference squad featured players like Kevin Garnett, who was making waves as the first player in 2 decades to jump straight to the NBA from high school. Alongside him were other highly regarded rookies, including Antonio McDyess, Michael Finley, Brent Barry, Tyus Edney, Joe Smith, Bryant Reeves, and Arvydas Sabonis, a long-anticipated European sensation finally making his NBA debut at age 31. The Eastern Conference roster boasted a strong lineup of its own. Damon Stoudemire, the Toronto Raptors' diminutive point guard, was quickly becoming one of the most electrifying rookies in the league. He was joined by Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace, Eric Williams, Kurt Thomas, Bob Sura, George Zidek, and Allen Henderson. Together, they brought size, scoring, and defensive grit, and they would need all of it to hold off a talented Western group. As the game unfolded, it was Stoudemire who quickly seized control. Despite being one of the smaller players on the floor, his impact was massive. He pushed the tempo relentlessly, broke down defenders off the dribble, and made smart plays in transition. His leadership on the floor was evident as he confidently orchestrated the Eastern offense and created open looks for his teammates. Stoudemire's performance became the defining story of the night. As the game reached its final minutes, both teams traded baskets in a tight contest, but it was Stoudemire who delivered in the clutch. With the score hanging in the balance, he scored key points and kept the Eastern Conference calm under pressure. His efforts were ultimately rewarded as the East held on for a narrow 94-92 victory. At the final buzzer, Stoudemire was named the Rookie Challenge MVP, a well-deserved honor for his floor leadership and game-high impact. It was a signature moment for the young point guard, who would go on to win NBA Rookie of the Year later that season. His performance in San Antonio was not just a high point of All-Star Weekend. It was a clear signal that he belonged among the league's elite young players. The 1996 rookie game also highlighted the depth of the rookie class. While Stoudemire took center stage, players like Garnett, Finley, and Stackhouse flashed the skills that would make them future All-Stars. The game was more than just a fun exhibition. It was a sneak peek into the future of the NBA, a glimpse at the stars who would soon take over the league.
Hey guys, in case you have missed all the great tapes from back in the days, check these out. All will be on our channel.
Now,
For the first time ever, you can get airtime and come fly with me together for only $29.98, showing you a side of Michael that you've never seen before. Capture his amazing plays forever. Act now, and you'll also receive this exclusive limited edition career retrospective, highlighting Michael's spectacular achievements. Take it home for yourself, or buy it as a gift for your favorite Michael Jordan fan. Michael Jordan gift pack is available for only $29.98 wherever NBA videos are sold, or call 1-800-NBA-DUNK.
After enjoying all the spectacular action of the NBA Finals, you'll know who reigns as NBA champs. Now go behind the scenes to find out where, when, and how they did it.
Call a 10 defense.
All this with the official 1996 NBA Finals video. Nothing gets you closer to the NBA Finals. Order yours now. Call toll-free 1-888-8-GET-NBA.
Tim Hardaway and Mitch Richmond team up to host NBA Grooves.
What kind of music you like? Man, I like all type of music.
It's a music video tour of the NBA.
You are in the groove, baby.
With lots of NBA action, mixed up with hot music from Blackstreet, Republica, Shaq, Yvette Michelle, and more. NBA Grooves. In stores now through NBA.com or by calling 1-800-NBA-HOOPS. From NBA Video.
There is a magic within them, a legendary quality. They are men of miracles. Fly with them in this extraordinary new video, NBA Legacy, Living Legends to Rising Stars. You also get the officially licensed NBA team sweatshirt of your choice. Both the authentic sweatshirt and the video are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. NBA Legacy traces a line of superstars as greatness is passed from one generation to the next. You also get a great-looking heavyweight sweatshirt featuring the colorful logo of your favorite NBA team. No matter which team it is, it's free. When you order 54 issues of SI for only $1.47 an issue, save over 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card. Call now and get NBA Legacy plus the team sweatshirt of your choice, both free from Sports Illustrated. It's a sports experience like no other. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.